Hello, Jim Hodges here, Twiggy here. Twiggy is a 7-month-old chocolate Labradoodle, came in for our week-long residency training program, abbreviated version of our 2-week program. The real big difference is, besides not quite all the commands and being able to address behaviors like we want to, although we address all behaviors, is repetition. What does repetition do? It teaches a dog second nature to do what we want to do, and hopefully want to do what we want to do. Twiggy here's a real good little girl. She's sweet, she's affectionate, she loves other animals. If you look on my Facebook page, you'll see her with my cat that loves to get on the bed with dogs when they come over. She likes everything. She loves treats. Treats can be a little bit of a pain. I'll talk about that in just a second. But she's just happy. She can get distracted. And when she gets distracted and supposed to listen to us, there's usually a corrective action we will take. We would only take that corrective action if she actually disobeyed something we were asking her to do. But we teach her through that. And of course, anytime we have a corrective action, we always follow that up with a praise. But when she does something right, the first time is praise. I tell people all the time, we want to praise 20 times more than we ever bite or provide that corrective action. Whenever we do, we follow with praise. When she does something right, we give her even more praise. That praise or the action, corrective action, is always words and touch. Sometimes it involves a treat or a toy as well. You ready, sweetheart? Let's go. So one of the things she came into us is for walking on a leash. She used to pull all the time. Atta girl. Good girl. Good girl. Notice how I'm petting her, talking to her, letting her know while she's doing what we want that I'm happy with her. Good girl. Yes, let's go. Now, if she started to pull out in front of me, I would tap the leash right back towards my leg. No, let's go. She started to go that way, I would tap here. She started to smell the ground, I would just tap up. No. And every time I tap is when I would say no. I would say, let's go. And then as she started doing what we wanted, I would provide a level of praise, not as much as if she did it right the first time, but to let her know she's doing what we like. It's important that we have a loose leash. We do not want a tight leash, loose leash. If we ever want to get to the point that we could even think about doing off-leash stuff, we have to teach her that she's sort of making these decisions with us, for us, but it has nothing to do with this. Let's go, baby. Good girl. Sit. Atta girl. Sit. Praise. Words, touch, praise, maybe a treat. Sit means sit. She has to hold it. If she didn't sit, I would tap the leash up and go, no, sit, and then come back and provide a little bit of praise, okay? Praise. Good girl. Notice when I broke her, I stepped back. What I'm trying to teach her from a very young age is that I am the center of the universe. So when we're working and I break her, I step away, she comes to me, I pet her, and that's increasing our bond together, if you will. Let's go. Sit. Atta girl. That's it. Good girl. Break. See how she comes right back to me? Atta girl. Let's go. So we're back to walking on a leash. We're walking around. You saw the SIT command. Now we're going to have the down. Good girl. Down means down. If she didn't down, we would tap the leash towards the ground. She has to stay in the down for as long as we hold her. In a sit command, we would never hold her in a sit for more than 15, 20, 30 seconds. In a down, we can hold her for a minute if we want. I don't care. She has to stay in that down. If she got up, we would bring her back to where she was, and then no, down. So our down would be tap like this, no, down, and then we'd come back and provide a level of praise, okay? When she downed the first time, it would be a level of praise, and break. It could be a treat too. One of the reasons with her, she gets a little excited with treats, so I try to pick my uses for treats, okay? Because I don't want her looking for a treat all the time. I want her to look for me. I want her to look for my love and affection. There's 3 instances where I'll use treats. One is the off-leash COME command, okay? That's how we start to teach our dog to come to us. That's a way to find out if they're coming to us without us giving the command, and then they run the chance of ignoring. What do I mean by that is she's out there. She may think she's in a command now, but she's not. But say she was out in the yard, I would go, Twiggy, look what I got. Hey, right here, come. And when she started, atta girl, good girl, break. When she started to come to me, if you'll go back and play that back, that's when I told her to come. I would do that 200, 300, 400 times. Of course, if she was out there and I said, look what I got here, and she didn't want any part of it, I would go on about my business. But what happened? I did not tell her to come, and she did not learn to ignore the come. Now, we could also do it on leash. I'll do that again here in a second, and I'll use a treat for that. That's number one for the treat. The number two times, the second reason that I would use the treat is when I was teaching her something for the very first time. I would use that treat for her to lead her and move her in the directions that I wanted her to go. So just say I had some movement command. I would use it just like that. You see how we got the sit out of that? I would do the same with the down. Then when she did it, I would pay her off and pet her and love her and say, good girl, okay? And I had the treat in the cup of my hand. I'm not one of these kind of guys because this creates piranha mouth, and if you have little children or even grown-ups, they're snapping for treats. That's no fun. Always take it here. She loves treats, watch, and I can close it so she doesn't reach for it, okay? And you see how she reaches her nose? That's why she likes treats so much. So I'm not going to give her the treat until she, see how she, I'm not going to give it to her. Atta girl. And then, atta girl. Break. When I paid her off, she's learning that she sat there still and wasn't moving her head. If I'd have given her the treat while she did that, she would think that is what I wanted, okay? So that's two. The third time I would give her a treat is much like the first one, except it's on leash, and it starts to help teach the groundwork of the off-leash come, is come. She comes, she sits, I about fall over backwards. Atta girl. I give her the treat. Break. Now when she comes, she has to sit. Notice that when I gave her the treat, I did just like that. I had the treat here in my hand, okay, and I told her to come. By having her treat here, she's going to come right here, and then I'm going to have her sit at the end of that come. If she does it, I'll tap up on the leash. If she does, good girl, and then I'll come in and hand her to the treat. If I had the treat out here and told her to come, where would she go? Here. What if she saw something to distract her? She may run right on past us. But by bringing her right here, look at her sitting, good girl, I'm very happy with you. That's what we want. Notice she's still holding the come, because I told her to come, she's supposed to sit afterwards. Break, let's go. And I could have gone to let's go. I could have gone to any command I wanted to right then. So we know what to do with the let's go. Now we've got the place. Atta girl. Place command is get on her bed. Lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what she does as long as she hits the bed. She likes it. It's a lot of fun. Most dogs enjoy that. That's time out for them. That's usually a treat in the beginning. It could be one of my yak snacks or elk antlers. She loves them. And I give them to her on their bed, which she's going home with those today. It could be any number of things. But what it does is it teaches her that she can lay down, sit down, stand up. I don't care what she does as long as she's there. It puts us in an authority position, which is so doggone important. We can sit down and relax at our desk, in a couch, tell her to place, and she's listening to us, although we're relaxing. That's leadership, my friend, leadership, and that's what we're trying to teach. We're not trying to intimidate or dominate, we're trying to lead. We're trying to make her want to lead. She can do this for 2 or 3 hours at a time. In fact, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see her when I get the picture up with Lovey, my dog-loving cat. She loves to get on the bed with my dogs, and she just terrorized this poor little thing for the last few days. Break. Let's go. Last thing is, if we want her to get in the furniture or load up in the car, always teach the load up command. Right, let it load up. Good girl. So it's load up. Now, when I wanted her off, I would go, break. I wouldn't tell her down, because if I told her down, what would she do? She would be supposed to lay down. If she jumped on the furniture and we didn't ask her to, and we told her down, we're confusing her. It's a no. In fact, I go so far as to say that we only have 2 negatives in our audible language, no or act, all right? And when she does something wrong, it's important that we do that in the act. Tapping the leash without hurting her is another way of associating no or act with something we don't like. She's good around other dogs. She apparently likes to play bite. Play biting is something that we haven't really seen, but if we had a leash on her and we reached down and she started to play bite, we would tap the leash and tell her no and put our hand back. When she didn't bite, we would come in and praise her. If we didn't have the leash on her, we would come in and just grab her snout lightly. We're not here to scare her. See how she's just sitting there, and tell her to no. Tell her no. We're controlling her right now. And then as long as she doesn't fight, we tell her no, we release her and tell her good girl. And we do that in the stepwise progress as far as our consequences we've discussed working one-on-one. The only other thing she's got that's going to take an awful lot of work is the barking. Barking in the house with you is not going to be a problem, but I understand barking in the yard is hard. The only thing you can do is practice this obedience. Let her know what pleases you and what doesn't. Reward her when she's out in the yard and not barking. And then when you know there are situations she would bark in the yard, I would probably take her out on a leash so you can control that. Little girl here has been really good. She's going to grow up to be a fantastic dog. She really is. She gets a little excited. That's puppy, exuberant behavior. Fix what you need to fix, but don't try to rain on her parade, which I know you're not going to do. She's going to be great. If you have a question, you pick up the phone and you just give me a call, 336-945-3232. That Facebook page I was talking about is facebook.com/Jim Hodges Dog Training, and it's JimHodgesDogTraining.com as well. Thank you so much. God bless. I'm here if you need me. Call me. Take care. Great. Good girl.